many players over the course of the month of July managed to get their hands on a little seed called the Bone Blossom. The Bone Blossom, being currently the best seed in the game, makes so that a huge portion of Grow Garden player, with the help of it and the paws of little thieves, can get their shekel counters over 10 quadrillion shekel. And wouldn't you know, even some of y'all would think that the cooking event is really bad. It is actually the best event so far that can help players to farm gigantic bone blossoms, as you can see right there with mine. But before it's too late and the event goes away, I will be explaining how to get said gigantic bone blossoms depending on your tool, pet, cosmetic, and how to transfer mutations along the way if you have a really mutated crop, and how to duplicate it so you may even go further than 10 quadrillion a day. Now for the requirements. The more requirements you feel, the better you will gain from my method. First of all, we will make sure that you have the primordial requirements. A bone blossom tree, moon cats. The more you have, the better chances that the giant blossom will get even bigger, and of course sprinklers, because at its core it's supposed to make plants bigger, as you can see with the basic sprinkler. The secondary requirements are our little friend the Triceratops. People might argue that the Echo Frog should work as good as our little horned dino, but they are actually really bad, as you will waste sprinkler time because of the 5-minute ability cooldown, and it only affects a single plant, making the operation really expensive sprinkler wise. Of course, as secondary requirements, you need harvest tools and a shovel, as picking and deleting your little bone blossoms before the magic operates is key. And as you can see here, pancake stacks to attract the mooncats together in a crucial spot when it's time to get a giant bone blossom. The tertiary requirements are the pet passive boosts. A small or a medium or even both would increase the stats of the mooncats considerably, making your chance to get a really big one even better. There is also a method using reclaimers and having multiple bone blossoms, in which I will explain later why you would need to use such measures. And of course, for our rich players who owns a raccoon or a kitsune, you can duplicate. And I also invite those who gets a gigantic blossom with mutations, thanks to the method, to search someone with one if they don't own either of two, so you might dupe together. And either you do it alone or with someone, you need 2 devices, with one needing to be a computer, in which I will also explain in details later. Let's begin with setting up the garden. Make sure that you choose a plot with no other plants than a bone blossom. Second of all, when you first join the server, make sure that you don't begin anything until you've hit the 3-minute mark inside the server, as you need at least 3 minutes to change plots at any given time. Also, a little information. As you can see, I have a giant bone blossom tree, and thanks to it, because the more giant the tree, the more range it has, so it gets affected by more mooncats, the easier it is to get a giant, a really big giant. My theory, as I didn't find any information elsewhere, I think there is a correlation between the crop huge chance and the actual seed chance between the seed and the crop. For example, bone blossoms and candy blossoms would be 2.5%, which would actually explain why there is so many giant bone blossoms and giant candy blossoms out there. Now, if you use all your plants and you didn't get one, and you really wanted one to make things easier, you can use Reclaimers. As using reclaimers will simply put back the seed inside your inventory and you'll be able to put them back in the garden, effectively re-rolling for a giant tree. I advise people who want a bone blossom at least 1 billion and more to get a giant bone blossom, as you really need it to be hit by many mooncats. And the bigger it is, the more chances a mooncat comes down and actually sleeps on it. Now when you're done either planting it or making them pretty big like I just did, you can go ahead and move it to the middle of your garden. Now what you can also do is, if you have pancake stacks, you can come and put them right where your bone blossoms will be. Now it's done. You have no other plants than your bone blossom, and you have the pancake stack at the same spot. So now the next step would be to actually go into your inventory and remove every single item in it. So when you do that, it will make things way quicker and easier from now on. Now, before doing anything, for those who have boosts, what you can do is that you can take all your mooncats, put them inside your inventory, and by holding one, and every time you hold one you click, so you can put the mooncat in your garden and swiftly switch to the other mooncat in one big swell fashion. You can put all the mooncats around the same time, as you can see. 3, 2, 1. There we go. All the mooncats have been put in around a second. Now, when you have the boosts, instead of trying to chase them away and trying to give them the boost, what you can do is wait for them to sleep. As you can see right there, all the mooncats are now sleeping. You can see the pancake stack doing its work. What you can do is that you can take the boost and effectively put them on each mooncat, and since they won't move, it'll be really easy to put them as quickly as you can on all of them. Now, let's imagine I've put the boost on every single mooncat. What I'm going to do is quickly pick them up to not to waste said boost. Now, after doing so, what you can do is that you can go ahead and put a harvest tool in your inventory and our mighty shovel. When you did that, you can take our little dino friend and put it right here. As you can see, my inventory is filled with mooncats, harvest tools, shovel, and a single triceratops. Now what we can do is that we can put the triceratops inside the garden. When you do that, just so things goes more swiftly and smoothly, search sprinkler inside your inventory and keep it like that. So when it will be time to use them, you'll simply have to open the backpack, and here we go, we have them. Now what you do is that you're going to wait for the timer to hit a single mark. It depends on what you did with the mooncats. For example, if I didn't use any boost, mooncats should be at 1 minute and 10 seconds, while mooncats with boost should be around 55 seconds. And if your pet is mutated, like this golden mooncat, with either gold, rainbow, or it is simply giant and you're a chosen one, what you do is that you take its cooldown. For example, this mooncat is about 38 seconds, and you add 7 or 8 seconds, depending on what you like. So if this mooncat with 2 boosts is around 38 seconds, what I can do is that I can add 7 to 8 seconds, making it 45 to 46, and put the mooncat when our triceratops is at 45 and 46 seconds. Either works. When you do that, it'll mean that the mooncat will sleep for 7 to 8 seconds until the Triceratops rams into the bone blossoms. Why 7 to 8 seconds? Because we want to make sure that the Triceratops will ram while the mooncats are sleeping. And for people who have multiple bone blossoms, it would be better for, the Triceratops to ram exactly when they sleep, because he'll have to ram into multiple trees. But if you have not a lot, just play it safe and actually wait a few seconds, like a little buffer time, for the mooncats to all sleep and the Triceratops to, take action. Now, as you can see, I always keep my mark ready on the Triceratops. Boom, 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 boom. Don't you remember when I placed all them down for the boost? It's the same exact strategy. Now what I do, I go to the sprinkler and I will take the sprinklers according to their strength. Now, we have to surveil their cooldowns. As you can see, it's 20 seconds, so it's not right now. And what we also need to do is check our bone blossom. As you can see, there's a little bone blossom, so what I'm going to do is harvest. When I'm finished harvesting, I'm going to check if there is maybe other little bone blossoms, and there aren't. I check the cooldown, it's almost ready. Now, what's important is that when you see those mooncats sleeping, you'll have to see if, it is a good time to put that Grandmaster or Master Sprinkler, as not everyone has an infinite amount of it. Right now I can see there is 3 mooncats right there, and the other are really far. So if I had a Grandmaster Sprinkler, I wouldn't put it, or any sprinkler. I would wait for another chance, so the mooncats actually get all in sync at the same spot, and then use my sprinklers. So it failed. Not every single mooncat went into the exact spot. What I'm going to do, I remove my godly, advanced, basic, every single blossom I harvested, and then to not waste the boost, I'll pick them up. Now we'll let the Triceratops go again, get to 1 minute and 10 seconds, and then when there will be a really good time, we'll put the sprinklers and we'll get to another step. Okay, so you can see right here, we're getting back to that 1 minute 10 seconds. I get ready, I hold the first mooncat, put him down, do it for every single mooncat, depending if you have 7 or you don't have all the pet slots available. Now what you do is that, see, I didn't search sprinklers. Harvest. Now as you can see, we check the tree, and if there is a little bone blossom to delete because it's not fully grown, be careful, you might delete your plant. Right now I can't since this thing is favorited, but really be careful. Now here is my favorite part. Now I just dream that every mooncat sleeps at the same spot. And here we have 4 mooncats, which is enough. You're going to place all your sprinklers before the Triceratops rams, and when you do, it should give you big ones. Right now I didn't get a lot of big blossoms, maybe because I put the sprinklers a bit too late since I'm talking right now, but when you do, it should give you a shot at getting a really big bone blossom. Now, let's imagine you've put, a bit like me, a Grandmaster Sprinkler instead of a Master, or you're really poor in sprinklers and the Master will be your best. Once you've put it, and the bone blossom grown, quickly harvest, go to your garden, and switch to another plot. Now, remove every single thing from 1 to the said amount of cats, and also every single bone blossom you have. Pick up the mooncats and pick the Triceratops. Now you'll have to wait 20 seconds. Do you want to know why? Because when you switch plot and you put that Triceratops 20 seconds after switching garden, and you put him with the moon cats, and as you can see, the time is the same time for me to put those moon cats, and after you put those moon cats, and at about 40 seconds before they sleep, you switch plots, just like that. As you can see, our sprinkler didn't move at all. It was completely frozen in time, and our little blossom didn't grow any little bone blossom for us to harvest or to delete. Making so, first of all, you won't have to harvest, and second of all, you'll save about 2 minutes of time on every single sprinkler you have, including that extremely valuable Grandmaster. And as you see right there, I also failed, we could say. There wasn't any giants, but it was a fair shot. Now what you do is that you pick up those moon cats, you harvest, you can remove that little bone blossom, you can prepare yourself with sprinklers in case, you know, your little sprinklers like the basic, advanced, or godly run out, and you'll simply have to do it again at 1 minute and 10 seconds, for example my case, and put all the moon cats back. And that's pretty much it. There isn't any bone blossoms to delete. I don't have my sprinklers on me since every single sprinkler is going to last long enough for the moon cats to sleep. Now it's just some praying time. They all went in different directions again. I'm not really lucky while recording. Well, as you can see, I did get some big ones. And I'm not even using a Grandmaster or Boost, but you know, once it's done, you harvest, you remove. If there were sprinklers, you would also remove them. You pick up your cats, go to garden, and you switch the plot again. Now you pick up that Triceratops, you wait 20 seconds, you put him back, and you do it all over again. If godly, advanced, or basic sprinkler ends, you put them back, all until the Grandmaster or Master Sprinkler runs out. So for each sprinkler using that method of switching plots, you get 6 tries, and 6 tries means for a single bone blossom in your garden that has every single slot, because you know a single bone blossom can grow 4 fruits, it'll give you 60% chance to get a giant bone blossom for each time you put a Grandmaster or a Master Sprinkler and you use my method of switching plots, and so on and so on. Why? Well, every single bone blossom that spawns has a 2.5% chance to ram. You have 4 of them, so you know every time you make every single bone blossom grow, it's a 10%. And of course, since every single Grandmaster you have 6 tries, like I said, it makes 60%. So if you have a single bone blossom, you should get 60% chance to get one. If you have 2, it's 120%, so it guarantees you to have at least a single giant bone blossom. 3 is 180%, and so on and so on and so on. And you know, it's not every time it rams, it's every time you use every single try there is for a single Grandmaster Sprinkler. Now, some of y'all might have thought about the title, and what I said in the introduction earlier, the cooking update is important, and you need to do the bone blossom method before it ends. Well, if you are even more attentive, you might have understood that the pancake stacks, the small and medium boosts, or reclaimers for getting a giant tree are all rewards our good friend Crispy gives you after being generous to his belly. This means that when you get a single giant bone blossom, regardless of its size, keep it. Use raccoons, either your own raccoons or find someone to dupe it, get some mutations on it, and when you have a lot of them, cook them, so when you give your rewards to, a bit like that, really big, when you give those food to Crispy, you'll get really good rewards or many medium rewards. You'll get many medium toys, many small toys, you'll get pancake stacks, sometimes I get 2 pancake stacks. You can even also get other stuff if you really want to. And when you do, well, after a long time of, duping that giant bone blossom you had, mutated it, cooking it, giving the food to Crispy and everything, and you have a lot of boosts, a lot of pancake stacks and everything, go back and do the method once again to get that desired weight for your bone blossom. You've done this operation many times and you finally gotten exactly what you wanted. A giant bone blossom. Now, 2 steps is left. First of all, you need mutations, and to get those mutations and even transfer it, because you'll need a way to transfer those mutations for events and stuff like that. I will explain exactly how I got every single mutation, and yes, I know we don't have voice touch, but we did, and we fumbled and we lost voice touch on our bone blossom. But anyway, I will explain how to get so many mutations in another video, and I will also explain a really important part, something that even YouTubers don't talk about it, something I've learned from playing a lot of Roblox, how to dupe that giant bone blossom of yours when it's in a multi-harvest crop. If you auto-click with a harvest tool, you'll run out, and if you simply AFK, you'll have 1 in 4 chance to get the bone blossom, meaning your actual benefits will be divided in 4. I do have a strategy for that, and I will show it in the next video. Wow, that was a lot of details, but it's those little details that makes the difference at the end. And as you can see, my bone blossom is a witness to that. So I hope y'all enjoyed and will get as lucky and as patient as we did to get such bone blossoms. And I hope y'all would like to see the next video to actually get the mutations on it, or have to actively dupe it correctly and get rich. So anyway guys, see you in the next video. Bye.